Hi everyone, I hope you're good. I'm back again, and this is March. I was supposed to be here February, but February was a very short month. Today we're going to be making flowers with the satin ribbon, the 2 inches satin ribbon. I'll be displaying on the screen right now the tools that I'm going to be using in making the flowers. Right. So I have this right here, and this was my inspiration on trying to make flowers, right? Because this was a bottle of wine. It's called de Vivre. It's a French word for the art of living, right? So this was a bottle of wine, and it was a gift. And I was told that I could use my bottle of wine as a flower vase, right? And then I was just like, oh wow, that would be nice. And I just finished my wine, and I had this fox flowers at home, and I just decided that I'm going to just see how it looks. And yeah, it's been serving me for a while, and it's been great, right? So now that we're about to make our own flowers, it most definitely would need its own flower vase, somewhere for the flowers to stand in and not just lie somewhere, right? So one of my market days, I came across this, and I thought it was pretty, and I wasn't in the market to purchase anything related to flowers or anything for flowers, right? But I just thought it was pretty, and I just purchased it, and I never used it, right? So I just had it in the house somewhere in the corner, and then when I thought about making flowers, I was like, okay, this is going to just come in handy, right? So I can't remember how much I got it, but I knew I was just, you know, I just saw one of those shops that had some interior decor designs and piece, and then I was like, okay, I want this, right? So we're going to be using this as the flower vase, right? And I wanted to purchase gold ribbons, right? Because I was thinking, oh yeah, this might go well with gold ribbons, right? But I couldn't get gold ribbons because I don't know, they just didn't have the color in 2 inches, right? And to get the type of flower that we want to make, we need the ribbons to be 2 inches, right? You most definitely can work with other sizes of ribbons depending on how you want the flowers to look, right? But the length or the height of flower that I want to work with, I would need the 2 inches ribbon, and it was not available in gold, so I went for this creamy color, right? So yeah, that's basically it. So we're going to begin, and I'm going to be showing you in the next few minutes how we're going to make cute little flowers with this satin ribbon, right? You can work with multiple colors. You can choose to do 2 colors. I think if I had found gold, maybe I can do gold and this together. That would be much more, colorful and stuff. Yeah, and maybe if there was chocolate brown, but there was none of that, right? They had other colors, but they were not up to 2 inches. They were just maybe 1.5 inch, and I wasn't going to use that. Yeah. This is my flower vase, and the first thing I like to do is to reduce the height of my floral stem. This is my floral stem right here, and I would like to reduce the height of the floral stem. I'm reducing the length of the floral stem because it looks too long for the flower vase. As you can see, the flower vase is smaller in size, and the floral stem is going to look quite awkward in the flower vase, and that will also make the flowers look very weird. Yeah. I will be reducing the length of the floral stem with the cutter, and I'm going to just pick one of the floral stem, right? And the cutter is the best tool to reduce the length of the floral stem because the floral stem is strong, right? So I'm going to just pick one of the floral stem and try to get a reasonable length by putting it beside the flower vase to see a reasonable height for the floral stem, right? So I'm just going to measure it beside it and get a reasonable height for it, and then I'll just proceed to reduce the height with the cutter. Yes, you can see that it was very easy to cut with that particular tool. Yeah. Then I'm going to be picking the number of floral stem that I'll be needing, and I'm most likely going to be making 4 different strands of flowers. And so I just picked out 3 extra floral stem, right? Now we have a reasonable length for the floral stem, and you can still reduce the length of the floral stem if you would like to do that. Yeah. Now I want to plug in my glue gun, and as you can see I have an extra wax stick here just in case the one in the glue gun is exhausted and I need some more, right? So I'm just going to plug in my glue gun and not necessarily switch it on until I'm almost ready to use it. Now I'm going to be cutting the ribbon, and I'll be working with a particular measurement which is 8 centimeter, right? So each piece of ribbon that I'll be cutting is going to be 8 centimeter, but you can always work with a different measurement depending on how you want your flowers to look. And if you want the flowers to look maybe a bit bigger, you would cut a different type of measurement that will be suitable. In addition to that, the number of ribbons that you cut is going to also determine how the flower would look, right? So you can cut as much as 12 pieces, you can cut 24 pieces, you can cut 18 pieces, or you can cut lesser than 12 pieces, right? So some people might want to cut just 6 pieces of ribbon, but in my opinion 6 pieces is too small to make the flower look nice, right? So I would recommend cutting at least 10 pieces of ribbons or more. Yeah. So after cutting the quantity of ribbons that I need, I'm going to be switching on my glue gun. Then I'm going to leave it on for a while for it to get heated. Right, so while I wait for the glue gun to get heated, I'm going to be folding each of the ribbons in a particular way. So I'll just need you to watch closely how I fold each of the ribbons and how I will be applying the glue gun on each of the ribbons. So the next step is to take each of them and put them together, right? So I'm going to take this one, and yeah, then take the next one. So the next step is to take my floral stem, starting from the edge, right? So I'm going to put it here, right? I'm gonna put a little bit of gum here, a little bit of glue here, right? I hope my hands are not obstructing my video, right? So then I'm going to put right. So I'm going to be doing it in bits, right? So this, then let's keep rolling it. First time attempting to make flowers, and oh my god, look at this little thing trying to embarrass my ass. So as you can see, we have our flower made with ribbon, and there are lots of factors that affect how the flower is going to turn out. If you want the flowers to be wider than this, it simply means that you have to cut more ribbons to be able to make the flower bigger than this. And if you want it smaller, simply means that you have to cut lesser ribbons than the ones that I used to make it smaller, right? But I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be? The flowers are ready, yay! So I reduced the length of the floral stem off camera so that the flowers can sit well in the flower vase, right? And I was supposed to make 4 flowers, but I'm tired already, so we're just going to work with 3, and maybe I can make an extra one at my leisure. Yeah. Surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. So that will be all on our flower making DIY video today. And I wanted to mention that I love the flower making world because it's a very broad and creative space, because I've seen people work with tissues to make flowers. I've seen people work with crepe to make flowers and so many other materials like that. And the flowers are always very pretty, and you can always explore, right? So um also there are some other important things to know about making flowers, like how you cut the materials before you start the process of making the flowers, the sizes, and so many other factors like that are going to determine how the flower is going to look and the end result, right? So as time goes on, I will be making some other videos on other ways to make flowers, and some other videos on gifting, packaging, and so on like that, right? So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'll be bringing so much more DIY videos and tutorials on how to make so many things, and I will be adding every important information in the description below, like the tools that I use to make the flowers and every other important information, right? And I would also be adding links to my other social media platforms, because I offer other services, right? I offer consultation services for souvenir styling and budgeting and gifting and so on like that, right? And I also offer services of souvenirs for events, right? So I'm going to be adding the link or links to my social media platforms in the description below. And let me know what you think about the flowers and the DIY video comment section. And I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye.